Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on, well, I have two YouTube channels now, but this one is called the What's on West Midlands with me, Philip Solomon. That is me. I'm sure you know, I'm sure you see me around the Midlands with different things, but let me talk a little bit to you first about what's on and what the project itself is. If you've got an event that you would like me to promote for you, just send me a message to p.solomon@blueyonder.co.uk. As long as it's in the West Midlands, well, anything really to do, perhaps with the paranormal, a lot of people know me on that, but local amateur dramatics, theatre shows that you want to recommend, or even small events that you're promoting. You might be going on a ghost walk or something. I used to do lots of those, didn't I? Not so much these days, but any sort of little event that you would like to get promoted, I'm going to do it for you. But I'm not going to give you all the contacts. I'm going to tell you what I've found for you. Now, I won't be talking about the football clubs. I mean, they're fantastic. I'm a massive supporter of one of the West Midlands football clubs, which you probably already know. But no, it's not just about that, really, because, well, you already know where your football team is and what they're playing, don't you? If you're a Wolves fan, a Villa fan, Birmingham City, Warsaw, and all the other local clubs, you know what games they're playing without me suggesting as it's something good for you to go and watch. Hopefully, it is good for you to go and watch your team. It's when they lose that it's unfortunate, isn't it? And but we've got quite a few teams in the Premiership, and Albion look like they're going very, very well at the moment. Maybe they can get up and, because you've got Stoke City just coming out of their area. But we're not going to be talking about football. What I will say though, you do want to tune in and watch the Women's Rugby World Cup. It's on BBC Player. Obviously, that is free if you've got the player. Can these Lionesses roar to victory the way the girls did with the football? I think they will. I think they will. But there it is. You can watch it probably on some of the regular channels as well. But if you have got that little piece of thing on your TV, the BBC player, it's there for you. Right. What I'm trying to do is pick a few special places each week to visit, as I've said to you. This week will be from Friday, which is tonight, of August, and perhaps over the next 7 days. I'm going to start off with my very good friends down at the Robin 2 in Bilston. You've seen me performing there many, many times, and very close to my heart. Got a great staff down there. The owner's a good friend of mine, and it will be good. Now, tonight, if you want to get down there, they've got Motley Crude. A lot of tributes they have on it at the Robin these days, a lot of tributes, but Motley Crude. And on Saturday, it's Fleetwood Mac. Now, a lot of people say, oh, what are you telling us about where there's, tributes on and that? But you've got to remember, some of those tributes are almost as good as the real thing. So I thoroughly recommend that. Another great event is up at KK's Steel Mill. And well, they've got Stone Broken on. They're an amazing heavy metal band and absolutely fantastic. Again, obviously, everyone has different tastes. And I've known Ken way back in his time at Judas Priest, and he's done a very good job getting the steel mill going. And there's lots of good things to see there, but very, very famous, really, really good in the metal, heavy rock, I suppose you could call them both really, but more heavy metal, I think. Stone Broken, and you'll have a good night there. Now, my favourite theatre, I think, goes without a shadow of a doubt, because I've told you thousands of times, is the Alexandra Theatre in Birmingham. And this Saturday, they have something special. They have a Queen, like the band Queen, Freddie Mercury and all that. Queen by candlelight, not with Freddie Mercury though, he won't really be there unless he'd be there in spirit. I jest, I'm being silly. But it's a great show that they've got on, and a brilliant tribute to the band. Again, just have a look on the internet or found them up. They'll tell you the prices and times and what it is and all that. Not going to do everything for you. I'm going to find some great things for you, but you've got to do a little bit of work yourself as well. But what can I say? They're always great people at the Alexandra Theatre, great friends of mine, and I've always promoted and wherever I've been, even before we've been doing this show, because they're just so friendly and welcoming at the Alex, and I think that's something special. Nothing on the tour this week in Wolverhampton, theatre-wise. The Grand Theatre's not gone on anything, not anything gone. And the Little Arena Theatre, I love the Little Arena Theatre. It's a great little theatre. It's actually part of the Wolverhampton University. And of course, I did my BA Honours there at that university. So it's somewhere that I'm always trying to help, but they ain't got nothing on nothing neither. So that wouldn't be any good to you. Right. What else is there? Well, over at the Rep in Birmingham, I always love the Rep, very, very nice. They have Inspector Morse and his House of Ghosts. Well, what can you say? I'm sure you've all seen the programme with John Thor, best, absolutely best viewing for a long, long time. And I haven't seen it, but I believe that the stage play is absolutely excellent. It's excellent. So that's gone on my recommended list as well. And I'll tell you what, I'll mention another one on the 30th of August that you will enjoy. It's called The Boy with Wings, and it's based on a book that was written by my very good friend, Lenny Henry. And it is great. It's a really interesting story. And he's a very talented man, isn't he, Len? And I'm sure you'd enjoy that. Now, down at the Hippodrome on Wednesday, the 27th to the 30th of the month, they've got something very, very special on there. Might even be on a par with the Alex. I'm joking, all you people fans absolutely love the place as well, and they're really very good. But what they've got on, as I say, from right through to that time, the 29th, I think I said, 27th to the 30th, I beg your pardon, the Buddy Holly story. Now, I can absolutely recommend this show because I've seen it several times. Absolutely fantastic. You've got all the fantastic songs. That'll be the day when I say goodbye. Yeah, I know all that stuff. Shouldn't be singing them, should I, when I'm talking about them? You can't help it, can you? Oh boy, when I see you, oh boy. You know, I've been an upside to him. Was he get the show done for copyright, wouldn't I? Not really, I don't think, but there you go. Now, if you're in Staffordshire, the edge of Staffordshire, over at Penkridge, at the moment it's the open air event starting from tonight right through to Sunday. And they've got some great stars there. They've got Nick Kershaw's doing an event, a piece there. Bowney M. Oh, I do apologise. I've got this frog in my throat. Would you excuse me while I just have a little drink of my tea? Clear my voice a bit. I sound like an old croaky, don't I? I do apologise. As I said, I've got some great artists on. Barney Emma, I've just mentioned. Nick Kershaw. These are big stars, aren't they? And the Weather Girls, they're fantastic, aren't they? And they're all there, you know. And, you know, it's just a great place to visit. It always has a nice energy. But you have a great market there as well, if you wouldn't mind me recommending that as well, that you can visit. And there are lots of bargains there at Penkridge Market, so you can pencil that one in as well. Now, over at Mousley Old Hall in Wolverhampton, they have Pride and Prejudice. You know the story, but this is also a wonderful historic building and grounds to visit. You have a nice time walking around and looking all around at what's there. And I believe they have a very good cast playing the parts, and thoroughly recommend that. I don't know what's making me itch, and I do apologise. I've got my lights all set up correctly, but something's making me itch. I sometimes wonder if it might be I'm a bit psychic, you know. Only joking, only joking. Right, let's move on then. Now, here's one for you to take. The kids do. The kids do. They really enjoy this one. It's at Smethwick Library on Wednesday, the 27th of August, and it's called Captain Cauliflower and Marvin, the Mischievous Moose. Now, this is one, you know, to be honest, you adults are going to enjoy it as much as the kids, aren't you, really? Of course you are. Of course you are. You're going to tell me to stop scratching in a minute, aren't you? Of course you are. It's always nice us to have somewhere like that you can take the children along, and I don't think we do sometimes enough entertainment for them, do you? And it is important really for them to have a good time as well. Okay. 14th thing that I've come up already, so I'm giving you a lot of things that I've found for you. Now, what I would suggest is get down to the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, and it's running till the 29th of September. There is an exhibition dedicated to the one and only late, great Ozzy Osbourne. It's called, quite simply, Working Class Hero. Now, I know lots of you have been very, very disappointed that the BBC didn't put the programme on telling you all about his life story and all sorts of things. It is a shame, but a little bit of inside information that I've had, I believe that it will be put on at a later date, and we'll be able to see it there. But you can go down to Birmingham Museum. Well worth it, going into the art gallery as well. And there's fantastic exhibition there running, and it's till the 29th of September. And Working Class Hero. Well, that's exactly what Ozzy Osbourne is and was, isn't it, really? I mean, when you think about it, I've known Ozzy, interviewed him a couple of times and known him way back in the day, when I was first groups and bands that he played with and all that sort of stuff. And what a tremendously talented man who well, had amazing success, didn't he, with Black Sabbath. But you won't want to miss that, and particularly at the moment. You might have to queue a little bit for that one, a bit of information every month. But, go. I suppose the secret of success with those things is always go either early or as late as you can, and then you tend to get into those things. I'll be coming down and I've seen it before, but I'll be coming down and having another look at that. I think everybody was very, very sad from the West Midlands, especially those of you from Birmingham and over in Warsaw as well. He used to come over to Warsaw a lot in those very early days. I'll tell you, he was a very good friend of his as well. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but Noddy Older from the famous Slade group. And I remember him being a friend of Ozzy's. And yeah, what can you say? Legend is a word that's often used and perhaps not always remembered. I mean, I mentioned that the show up at KK's steel mill, and of course you've got local people, Rob Alford, another heavy metal magic star. Of course, he won't be there at the moment. I never should be talking about it really, but I actually lived, you see, at one time in the same road as Rob Alford, about 20 houses apart, if that. And I can remember him with all the gear on and all that sort of stuff, and he'd nod to me and I'd nod back. I always used to be working on little cars in those days, mini cars, turning ordinary minis into supercharged almost Cooper S type vehicles. Anyway, I'm going off and telling you about me again, and I do apologise. It's a fault that I have. I don't do it intentionally, but you're my friends out there, aren't you? So it's only natural that I'm going to chat away to you, because to me, you're just there with me anyway. Right, move on, Philip. It's time you did it. Right, Lichfield Cathedral are doing the beach again. Now, you may have seen this on TV and different things over the last couple of years, something really. The beach again. And it's for the kids, but it's for adults as well. Don't tell me that adults don't love the beach or the recreation of it. And I think it's great that cathedrals and churches can be, put things on like that and do things like that, and bring community involvement. I think all churches should try to do that if they possibly can. I think it's very important. And well, they actually called it Noah's Ark. I think that's quite apt at the moment, isn't it? It's very hot, hasn't it, the last couple of weeks? Not that I'm saying as we want a downpour like they had of biblical proportions. None of us want that. But it's very nice, and I've just put a note here. Good for the adults as well. Have a look around the beautiful cathedral as well. One thing to watch out for there, a lot of you probably know, but for those who don't, if you walk all around the cathedral, you can see the heads of all the kings and queens, but mostly the kings who have been in that position in England's history. And I do think that's a very, very interesting thing. I can remember being taken there at one time on a trip of school or something, or my parents or something. I don't know. And I never even noticed that you'd got all the Kings of Heads all around, all around the building. And you go, and it's magnificent, isn't it? Anyway, they're doing the beach again, and it's called well, the place that you cook out is part of it. It's called Noah's Ark. It's like a boat-shaped play area. You'll have fun, and I don't think it'd be just the kids doing that. I could tell you it's free as well, really, but I want you to do a bit of my ideas with this is to inspire you to look at what things cost. I think as the show develops, I'm going to look for that as well, but probably tell you a few of the prices that there are, rather than just giving my opinions or recommendations for great shows or great ways to spend your weekend. And it's a bank holiday weekend as well, isn't it? Well, not for me, because I'll tell you where I'll be. On Sunday, I'm taking the divine service at Bilston Christian Spiritualist Church. It's in right in the corner of the car park, and I don't know. I can't remember that address of that myself. Just trying to think where it is. Oh, you'll find it. Bilston Christian Spiritualist Church. My mum and dad have been there many, many times. I ought to remember it, hadn't I? Broad Street, I think it is. And I think it's number 15 towards the top. And you can park there just around the corner. Now, this is definitely free. It is definitely free. You'll see me give a proper divine service as, uh, as what I should do. And but you'll also see me doing some clairvoyance, demonstration of mediumship. Those of you who have seen me at places like the Robbie, the Grand Theatre, we mentioned the Grand, played the Grand Theatre a few years ago. Wonderful. But it is a very special, a really enjoyable uh, church service, the divine service. The Spiritualist Church, they have usually one on a Wednesday or a Thursday, which is a little different, but the divine service it is quite religious in context, but you still get the demo a minute, still get the demo even of mediumship with me, which I know many of you like, and I can say that because it's my event that I'm doing, that is entirely free. But what they do, part of the service, they bring a plate round. You've been to church, you've seen these things at some time. And if you want to put a donation on the plate, you can do so. But it's an entirely free will donation. You don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, come along and see me and have at the end of the shower, come and shake my hand and have a little chat to me if you'd like to do that. And it's absolutely free. So this Sunday, 6, you're going to get there about 6, I should think, for an 6:30 start. Bilston Spiritualist Church, Broad Street even, Bilston, West Midlands. I haven't got the postcode, and yeah, I'm going to let you look that up for yourself. You can find that. Okay. Told you about Lichfield Cathedral, haven't I? Birmingham Weekender, that's on again. And that's absolutely fantastic. It's sort of all over the centre of the town. And, well, it's actually produced by the Hippodrome Theatre in partnership with the Bull Ring. So, especially around that area, the Bull Ring, it's got loads of fun things going on. Dancing in the street entertainers. And I'll tell you about some of those street entertainers. They're absolutely fantastic. If you've not seen them perform, some of you may have gone to the Edinburgh Festival. I think it's just finished, hasn't it? Just finished the Edinburgh Festival. I did the Edinburgh Festival years ago, and I've been up there and seen it, and that's a bit too far for a recommendation on this particular show. But actually, it's lovely, isn't it, Edinburgh? But so is Birmingham. And you've got the Birmingham Weekender Theatre all over this weekend. And lots of fun things to do, especially the Bull Ring's quite close to the Chinese Quarter, some lovely restaurants there, and I'm sure they'll be doing all sorts of things. It's just a fantastic, fantastic weekend, the Birmingham Weekender. That's what it's called. Oh, I will let you in on a secret. It's free. That one is absolutely free. Right, another one that you might like to go to over this special weekend holiday time Tamworth Castle. Now, this is on Thursday, the 28th. So it's not this, it's Thursday, the 28th. And what they've got on is something called a wizarding school with magical creatures and all sorts of things of that nature. And you can sort of get involved with it and do all sorts of things. I believe that one's free as well, but you'd be as well to check it out. I only give you tips. I don't mean it really. I'm only doing my best to find your places to go that you will go and have a nice time and enjoy, because that's what it's all about, isn't it, really? Right. Of course, you probably know already. A lot of musos who used to listen to my show on Wolverhampton City Radio Show, and when I was at Pebble Mill. I often used to talk about my music has always been rock and roll. I'm a rock and roll man, but I do love my folk music as well. Very, very much poetry and all that sort of things. But the Mousley Arts Festival is on from Friday the 29th, and that goes on right through to Sunday the 31st of August. Now, I know I am giving you the dates and a bit more information. Look on the internet, read all about it, because you're going to have a massive shock. The sort of artists that they have there. The Mousley Arts Festival is famous all over the country and even farther afield. It's like our little mini Glastonbury almost. Well, perhaps not, but still a great, fantastic event. I know for a fact that they've got the Water Boys are there, Pete Doherty, and Father John Misty. He's very, very interesting. And all sorts of different things going on at the festival, and it's right where you want to be, isn't it, really? If you're in the West Midlands, it's well, bang in the middle, isn't it, really? Right, I suppose really I've about covered it. There's loads and loads of other things happening, and I'm sure you make your way there to lots of different things that you've arranged for yourself, and so be it. I think that's great. But what I do and try and spotlight every I suppose every Friday night, 7 till 8. I just try and come up with a lot of places that might be of interest to you to go and visit. And because people are saying to me, especially in the Black Country, we ain't got nowhere to go. I do that pretty good, don't I? Well, I've got Black Country accent already. We ain't got nowhere to go. Well, you have, because there's lots of places that you can go. And I didn't mention the football really because, as I say, I think those who follow the football, you probably know more about the dates and everything and the current interest and what I could find you with. And that's the basis of it, really. I know a lot of you know me from the paranormal world and all the things of that nature that I do. If you're interested in ghost walks and investigations, you can check out a company that's very good friends of mine, and it's called Haunted Happenings. Just type in Haunted Happenings in Google or one of the other search engines, and you'll find them. In the past, I've worked on there as a celebrity. Sorry, the word celebrity, as a special guest, working with the teams, and it's lots of fun. They've always got something going on, and no doubt they'll have something going on over this weekend. If you fancy visiting a haunted house, you could look at what's happening at Oak House in West Brom. They usually have something going on. I mean, you can always go and visit the building. And I always say you don't really need to go on an event, really. People who organise them might not like me saying that. But you go along, and if there's anything there, you'll sense it or see it yourself, wouldn't you? I should think. Ordinary people have seen those sort of things forever and a day, haven't they? And again, it's a great little place to visit, Oak House in West Brom. If you've, oh, pardon me, if you fancy a trip a little bit farther out and you'd like to, and many of you will do this, go to Stratford upon Avon. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it, there? The home of the bard, William Shakespeare. I sometimes think we don't make enough of our area, do we really? We all talk about, I suppose, the Globe in London, wonderful, wonderful theatre, and all the plays that were gone on there and different ones and all the Shakespeare stuff. But Will Shakespeare's ours. He's ours. And you can go and see, well, the places that he lived, his homes, and of course there's the places that lady that remarried, lived, and all sorts of different things to do. And if you don't want to do that, there's always something going on with the river. You can book a river trip or do a bit of angling or something of that nature if you enjoy that sort of stuff. I like fishing, got back into it again more recently. And what Stratford Avon and Avon, if you want something very, very special to visit, look up the Falstaffs building. Now, obviously, you know the significance with Falstaff, the name, and William Shakespeare, but the Falstaffs, go and have a look at that. It's really, really interesting. And it is quite a spooky building. And Stratford-on-Avon generally, well, you'll enjoy it. But if you go to the Falstaff, if you do decide to go, don't forget to tell Janet and John, who own the building, that I have recommended it to you. You may well find that they'll charge you double. No, I'm sorry, I'm Jack. You know I know what I'm like. I don't want to call you my fans, you're my friends, aren't you? I'm joking really, but if you do, don't forget to tell Jonathan John that I recommended it to you, and they'll look after you. And it's a really interesting place to go around, and they have all sorts of hauntings and things of that nature that you might find interesting, and that you'll enjoy. Well, not a long program this particular week, probably. But there's always so many things on, isn't there, for the bank holiday weekend? As it's hard really to decide what I would recommend to you. What I would recommend to you. I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't find you too much for Wolverhampton. Nothing on at the Grand or the Arena. Um, you might like to try Bantock Park, lovely park to go and visit, and Bantock House. That's usually open. I say I'm not giving you much for Wolverhampton itself, and it's my town. Well, that would belong to me personally, but it's my place where I'm associated with or very close to. And it's an interesting place, Pantock House, and they've always got something or another going on. Oh, I'm breaking my rule. It's usually free. It's usually free. But I like to make you do a bit of work for yourself. If you work at finding something that you might like to go in and find interesting, if you had somebody do the spade work for you, yes, that's me, you're going to enjoy it. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope you'll join me every Friday between 7 and 8, and I'll always come up with something for you for the weekend and for the following week. And I won't recommend it unless I think it is going to be good for you and you'll enjoy that. Now, as I said right at the very start of the show, if you've got an event that you would like me to promote, just send me a message to p.solomon@blueyonder.co.uk. As long as it's in the West Midlands or very close to it, anything from, I don't know, paranormal events to local amateur dramatic shows, I'll do my best to give it a shout for you. Just about everything else, whatever you would like to promote, let me know. As long as it's always nice to go to, and always let me know if it's suitable for what ages, because that's important really. You don't want to go along to a venue and find that it's, you've got to be over 14 or over 18, things of that nature. But you find that out for yourself, don't you? What else can I say to you? Well, have a great weekend. Enjoy the holiday. I hope I've helped you with a few ideas to go and go to. And what more can I say? Oh, one other thing, of course, the show's only started this week. The show's only started this. What's on West Midlands with Philip Solomon? I need to remember that myself, don't I? What's on West Midlands with Philip Solomon? You've got that now, haven't you? And I've got it as well, absolutely. But what I will say is this: if you'd like us to come along and review an event that you're doing, if it's going on for a while, and you have an opening night or a first night, and you would like us to come along and review the show for you, very, very happy to do that. If not always me, I'll certainly have good people who I know will come and view whatever you're doing respectfully and honestly, not say all the other things are fantastic and, point people in other direction. I'm never going to do that on this show. But, if you do have something that you'd like us to come and say and be honest and review it for you, very happy to do that again. Again, you just get in touch with me, Philip Solomon, and it's Well, my email is p.solomon@blueyonder.co.uk, which I've already given you. Or otherwise, a lot of you who watch this will be on Facebook. You can send me a message on Facebook. We'll come along and see what you're doing and do a review for you. And of course, as we said right at the start of the show, we're here to promote everything to do with the West Midlands, because I happen to believe that the West Midlands is absolutely great and doesn't get enough publicity. Lots of things in the West Midlands that are just as good as what could find in London. And it's on your doorstep. So I say good night and God bless you and have a great holiday weekend. If you can't be good, you be careful though. Remember that.